Iran on Saturday warned countries against participating in the United States' economic war against the Islamic Republic, saying they would be considered enemies. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump repeated the claim that the Strait of Hormuz is American territory. In a post on social media, Trump shared an image depicting the map of the region with the Strait of Hormuz circled below a caption reading "New US territory." It is the second time in a week that Trump has shared this image. The US president had earlier posted the same image on August 18th. The post comes a day after he told a rally in South Carolina that he viewed the Strait of Hormuz as an American territory right now. Meanwhile, Iran on Saturday said that the Strait of Hormuz remains closed and will not reopen until the US fulfills its commitments and corrects its behavior. Head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council said on state TV that the Strait of Hormuz is closed despite American claims and will not open until Washington corrects its behavior. He further added that this time America must fulfill its obligations. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian on Saturday said that Iran must decide to save itself from a situation of neither war nor peace. Pezeshkian, in a speech to mark Doctors' Day, said that Tehran has not compromised on any clause of a Memorandum of Understanding signed amid efforts to address the ongoing tensions with the US and Israel, while asserting that Iran seeks a solution through dialogue and logic. Pezeshkian said that the MOU was considered the best possible path by all members of Iran's Security Council and rejected claims that Tehran had compromised on any part of the agreement. The Iranian president said that the country needed to make decisions to move away from a situation of neither war nor peace, while calling for internal unity and cohesion. And DD India's Akhilesh Suman joins us on the story now for some analysis. Akhilesh, Iran has warned countries against joining the US economic pressure campaign and even threatened to target their interests. How seriously is the region viewing this warning?
The reason is very calibrated, that the way US and Iran are fighting against each other, the interest of every country in the region is getting affected negatively. And in that situation, every country is trying to save the relationship with both US and Iran. Given the fact that US might impose sanctions against the companies who will be dealing with Iranians in the coming days, in that situation, every country will try to take the position when the companies, the domestic companies of the respective countries are not affected. And even there are many private companies who do trade with Iran and USA. So if US impose economic sanctions against Iran, the private companies will also be hesitant to do any trade with Iranians. So I think that it is very difficult situation for the regional countries who are trapped in the war between USA and Iran, and all the countries in the region are trying to calibrate the way how to respond to it. And we have seen that countries are trying to make some alliances also, like we have seen Mecca alliance recently. How effective that will be, it is a big question. But that some sort of defensive understanding among the regional countries are also taking place, though not very effectively, but yes, symbolically it matters a lot. So let us see that how situations pans up. But the real problem is with the regional countries whose vessels have to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, who have good trade, people are there in the whole region. So these countries are getting affected. But most of the countries are taking a side that is seemingly neutral and trying to save their own interests.
Okay. The Strait of Hormuz remains a major flashpoint, with Iran saying it will stay closed until the US changes its stance, while President Trump has called the Strait of Hormuz part of American territory. Now, what is the ground situation around the strait at present, and how are international powers responding to this escalating dispute?
As far as the ground situation is concerned, what we are getting from our sources and different, resources that are being published officially or unofficially, some ships are passing through the Strait of Hormuz from the Omanian side and then from the mid side between Iran and Oman. So around 200 ships have passed in last few days and even Americans have also been successful in getting some ships pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Other than that, some negotiated, ships have also been able to pass through that, like Iraqi ships. Some Iraqi ships have also passed through the Strait of Hormuz, mostly from the Omani side, taking a defensive situation, somehow or other coordinating with Iran in that way. But we can just say that, the ground situation is still volatile, and nobody knows, because there are unpredictable strikes from Iranian side, because even in some cases they even didn't claim that the projectile that has harmed some ships in the Strait of Hormuz have come from Iranian side. So we can only say that there are courageous ships who are taking some steps to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Some ships are also coordinating with Iran, and some ships are trying to stay calm inside the Persian Gulf to save themselves. And as far as international reaction and stand is concerned, we have seen that how South Koreans have refused to come with USA in this conflict in the Strait of Hormuz, and USA has told the Defense Department that they should reduce exercise with South Korea. So in that situation, you can say that the whole 3-4 big powers of Asia, India, China, Japan, South Korea, they are all keeping neutral in this whole conflict. Even though China has made a statement that they will not comply with the economic sanctions being put forth by the USA, but Chinese also say that there should be negotiated settlement between Iran and USA, and they should talk. Other than that, if you see the Europeans are taking very safe stand. They are not taking side, even though they are trying to make some coalition for freeing the Strait of Hormuz. But they have not told that it will be a military coalition. So it also doesn't mean, it is more of a symbolic nature to put pressure on Iran and to showcase that they are also trying. So in that situation, one cannot say that international reaction is in favor of USA, but it is also not coming in favor of Iran.
Okay. Thank you very much, Akhilesh, Suman, for all that analysis on the West Asian crisis.